feel your gaze of beauty brings a smile to my face. I know it's not my duty, but I can't wait to be sitting with you, sitting with you, and holding your hand, holding your hand while we walk together, holding your hand. But we're away. I can't keep it told. But here he says, I'll be okay. 'Cause I know that I will be with you in time. When the sun's out, we will ride out into town.
Bom dia, eu sou Felipe Dias Schroeder e em nome do Sistema Fê Comércio RS, SESC e Senac, dou as boas-vindas a todos os diretores, teachers, demais colaboradores e alunos presentes. Vou fazer agora a minha audiodescrição. Sou um homem de pele clara, cabelos curtos e castanhos e olhos também castanhos. Estou vestindo um moletom cinza. Hoje será o nosso segundo dia de provas da semifinal estadual do Super B, a competição de língua inglesa do Senac RS. E este ano celebramos um marco muito especial, 10 anos dessa competição que teve início como Spelling Bee, dedicada exclusivamente à soletração, e que ao longo do tempo evoluiu, ampliou seus horizontes e se consolidou como um projeto que valoriza a excelência no aprendizado da língua inglesa. Nesta etapa, os participantes competem em duas modalidades. A Spelling Competition, a competição de soletração, que desafia os alunos a demonstrar precisão, conhecimento vocabular e atenção aos detalhes da língua inglesa. Já a Public Speaking Competition, que teve sua primeira edição no ano passado, avalia a capacidade de comunicação oral, incentivando a clareza, a organização de ideias e a expressão autêntica em inglês. Juntas, essas modalidades valorizam diferentes habilidades linguísticas e contribuem para a formação de comunicadores mais completos, confiantes e críticos. Que esta edição seja mais um capítulo de sucesso, aprendizado e celebração para todos os envolvidos. As semifinais da Public Speaking Competition terão início no dia de hoje, ocorrendo também nos dias 17 e 18 de junho, sempre às 9h30 da manhã, sendo transmitidas aqui pelo YouTube. Serão selecionados para a fase final, para a final estadual, os 6 competidores que tiverem a maior pontuação entre todos os semifinalistas. A divulgação dos finalistas da modalidade Public Speaking ocorrerá no final da transmissão ao vivo do último dia de semifinais, 18 de junho. Daremos início, então, ao primeiro dia de provas da semifinal estadual modalidade Public Speaking Competition, que tem por objetivo selecionar os alunos que irão representar suas escolas na final estadual, que acontecerá no dia 9 de julho no Sesc Protásio Alves, em Porto Alegre, e com transmissão online a partir das 9h da manhã. Destaco agora a premiação que entregaremos aos nossos 3 primeiros colocados na final estadual em cada categoria. Para o primeiro lugar, uma medalha e um notebook. Ao segundo lugar, uma medalha e um tablet. Ao terceiro lugar, uma medalha e um alto-falante inteligente. E para este primeiro dia de semifinal, temos aqui representantes das seguintes escolas: Senac Alegrete, Senac Tech, Senac Lindóia, Senac São Leopoldo e Senac Farroupilha. Relembramos que os alunos que estão participando dessa semifinal estadual são os vencedores das escolas nas quais estudam e estão representando o Senac das suas cidades de origem. Destacamos que a ordem de apresentação dos alunos será realizada conforme a ordem de sorteio. Antes de começarmos, apresento nossos queridos colegas que estão aqui presentes para compor nossa banca de jurados. Luana Dariva Cabreira, da Gerência de Educação Profissional. Luana é uma mulher de pele branca, de cabelos longos, lisos e claros, olhos verdes e está vestindo uma blusa bege com detalhes em preto. Ana Carolina Moreiro Paulino, da Gerência de Educação Profissional. Ana é uma mulher de pele branca, de cabelos lisos escuros, na altura dos ombros, tem olhos castanhos e usa óculos, com uma armação preta. Está vestindo uma blusa azul marinho com detalhes em vermelho e branco. Mariana Tap Fernandes, do Senac EAD. Mariana é uma mulher branca, de cabelos lisos, longos e ruivos. Tem olhos verdes e está vestindo uma blusa azul escuro. Vamos agora iniciar a competição. Sendo assim, apresento a vocês os competidores. Do Senac Alegrete, Milena Viana Costela. Do Senac Tech, Natan Micael dos Santos Espíndola. Do Senac Lindóia, Verônica Zimmer Nunes. Do Senac São Leopoldo, Enzo Moreira da Silveira. Do Senac Farroupilha, Pedro Henrique Becker Moreira. A Public Speaking Competition é composta por 2 fases, Prepared Speech e Impromptu Speech. Peço a atenção de todos para a descrição e regras da fase Prepared Speech. Os participantes farão uma apresentação previamente preparada de 4 a 6 minutos de duração, sobre o seguinte tema em inglês. What role does intergenerational dialogue play in building better workplaces? Em português, qual é o papel do diálogo intergeracional para a construção de melhores ambientes de trabalho? O mesmo tema apresentado na etapa escolar. Os participantes poderão utilizar apresentações digitais contendo imagens e até 5 palavras por slide. Os participantes não poderão ler a sua apresentação. Os participantes também serão avisados através de um aviso sonoro quando faltar 1 minuto para o fim do tempo de sua apresentação. E também quando o tempo for esgotado. Faremos agora a demonstração do primeiro aviso sonoro e, na sequência, o segundo. Os participantes serão desclassificados se a apresentação tiver menos de 3 minutos e 30 segundos, ou se exceder 6 minutos e 30 segundos de duração. Os participantes serão avaliados nos seguintes critérios: conteúdo, clareza, adequação, contato visual, variação vocal e desenvoltura. Cada critério deverá ser avaliado com notas de 1 a 5 em consenso entre os jurados. A banca avaliadora divulgará a nota do participante após cada apresentação. Convido então para iniciar esta modalidade a participante Milena Viana Costela, representante do Senac Alegrete. Antes, farei sua audiodescrição. Milena é uma adolescente de pele clara, cabelos curtos na cor castanho escuro e olhos castanhos, e está vestindo a camiseta do Super B, uma camiseta preta com a logo do Super B em amarelo e branco. Milena, está preparada? Como está se sentindo hoje?
Tudo bem, tudo certo. Tô preparada.
Animada?
Sim,
Então vamos lá, Milena. The stage is yours. Uma ótima apresentação para você. Boa sorte.
thank you.
Só um segundo. Ok? Podemos dar início, Milena. Boa sorte.
Vou dar aqui. Então, aqui agora, lá em apresentação.
Okay, may I start? Well, first, I would like to talk. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I would like to talk about this question. What role does intergenerational dialogue play in building better workplaces? To begin with, I would like to bring an example of a movie. The name is The Intern, and the main character is an elderly person, and he starts to work again after being retired, and it shows his journey as he faces some challenge while working with his younger colleagues. And this is not happening only in movies. This is a situation which is becoming a reality. The interaction between people from different generations is becoming increasingly common nowadays because with the development of science, medicine, technology, society in general, people are living longer than ever before and they are also retiring later and later. And this changes the workplaces, and this can bring some challenges at first, but can also bring a lot of benefits and advantages for everyone. Well, and why people are living longer? Because of several reasons. One of them is changes in the retirement system, like it happened in Brazil some years ago. Also, some people retire, but they need to keep working because their income is not enough, or others simply love what they do and they rather keep working. And here I brought a graphic from IBGE, the Institute of Geography and Statistics, and it illustrates the increase in life expectancy over the years in Brazil. In the yellow line, we see people under 15 years old. In the orange line, we see people between 15 and 64. And in the brown line, we see people over 64 years old. And here we can see an increase in the older population and a decrease in the birth rates. And this is changing the workplaces, and people from different generations are working together in the same work environment. And this may look like a challenge at first because people from different generations have different ways of communication, different values, different experiences. But this can also be an opportunity of growth and learning for everyone, despite the challenge at first. Because these differences can actually be a strength, since people from different generations can exchange knowledge and experience. As an example, younger people usually are more familiar with technology and they can help the older ones to learn new tools, innovations, while the older people usually they have more emotional stability, resilience, they have more professional experience, life experiences, and they can help the younger ones giving lessons and share these lessons they learned through their careers. Also, this dialogue and this communication between them helps to break stereotypes and prejudices. Like some people label younger people as lazy, mature, and like they don't want to work. And some people also label older people as too conservative, too strict, resistant to change. And this dialogue between different generations helps to break these stereotypes and prejudices and challenge these assumptions. And this dialogue helps to create a better balance in the creates a good balance in the environment and helps to improve even the teamwork and the decision making in the company because of the different perspectives, different points of view, and when we interact with people who are different from us, we develop more empathy and we have the opportunity to see each other's values and qualities. And having more empathy also is the key to create a society with less judgment and with more inclusion and respect. Well, and as a summary, despite some challenges of communication at first, like conflicts and barriers, the dialogue between different generations creates advantages and benefits for everyone involved and helps to create a society and a better environment with communication and respect. And thank you. That's my presentation.
Muito obrigado, Milena. Nossas juradas agora estarão avaliando a sua apresentação e em breve divulgaremos sua nota.
Obrigada.
E nós já temos a pontuação da representante do Senac Alegrete. A nota obtida pela Milena na primeira fase da modalidade Public Speaking Competition foi 19 pontos. Parabéns, Milena! Para darmos sequência, peço que o aluno Nathan Micael dos Santos Espíndola, representante do Senac Tech, se conecte conosco para sua apresentação. Farei a audiodescrição do Nathan. Ele é um jovem de pele clara, cabelos escuros, cacheados e de comprimento médio, e está vestindo a camiseta do Super B com uma jaqueta verde militar por cima. Tudo bom, Nathan? Como é que você está se sentindo?
Tô me sentindo ótimo, obrigado.
Como é que foi a preparação até aqui?
Um pouquinho nervoso, mas a gente vai indo, né?
O nervosismo faz parte, né? Especialmente em oratória, né? Em English, mas tenho certeza que você vai ir muito bem. Então, Nathan, the stage is yours. Boa sorte na sua apresentação. Pode iniciar em alguns instantes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nathan Michael, and today I have a question for you guys. Have you ever worked with someone much older or younger than you in the workplace? If so, you've probably noticed that each person has something unique to bring to the table, whether it be perspectives, opinions, or fresh new ideas. Today, I want to talk about intergenerational dialogue and how it is one of the keys to success in modern organizations. Have you ever judged someone based on their age? Nowadays, it is very common to see people of different generations working together. For example, a recent graduate collaborating with a professional senior that has been in the industry for over decades. Now, these two might seem a little bit conflicting. People have different communication styles, work habits, and expectations. Some prefer face-to-face communication, while others may prefer messages or online collaboration tools. It all really depends on that person's level of comfort. Now, sometimes this can lead to misunderstandings, but let me tell you, it can also be one of the team's greatest strengths. Experienced professionals have been in the industry for over years. They have faced a lot of challenges. They have solved many problems, and a way they can help the team out is by giving out useful advice, while also giving out insights about potential risks. While younger professionals, they are more creative, they are more energetic, and they also have a strong connection to modern technology. They are usually quick to learn and are constantly adapting to new market trends. Now, imagine what happens when we bring these two forces together. A young employee might introduce a new online tool that helps increase productivity in the workplace, while an experienced employee can help out by pointing out insights about potential risks and making sure that everything works along the way. But the innovation and experience is something that all teams need to create a great teamwork. But sometimes stereotypes may get in the way. People may think that young employees are often lazy or have no sense of direction, while experienced employees are very resistant to change and conservatives. But let me tell you, these stereotypes are often unfair and inaccurate. When we've all met young people with notable set of skills over the years, and older people that are constantly adapting to new market trends as well. Basing stereotypes of these two groups of people are very disrespectful. And this is why organizations need to incorporate intergenerational dialogue. A strategic approach is mentoring, where experienced employees can bring their deep knowledge of the industry and guide young employees to become better in their workplace. Another good approach is reverse mentoring, where young employees teach skills or even applications to older employees, such as, for example, Canva, PowerPoint, or even Photoshop. This model makes both groups a teacher and a student. Organizations should also create opportunities for people that are of varying ages, such as team projects, workshops, and even mentoring programs. This helps reduce prejudice, build trust, and strengthen communication. When people are willing to listen to each other with respect and curiosity, this helps create a sense of collaboration. And isn't that a good thing? Nowadays, in today's fast-changing world, companies need three things: innovation, adaptability, and experience. Intergenerational dialogue helps us achieve all three of them. But the benefits go way beyond business success. It helps us learn and grow as individuals. It also teaches us that learning never stops, regardless of age. To conclude, intergenerational dialogue is much more than simply working in the same place as an older employee or with a younger employee. It is a learning experience and about creating meaningful connections with each other. When we create a workplace that is both inclusive and innovative, this can only mean success forward. When we are willing to learn from different people of different ages from our daily lives, why shouldn't we do that the same in the workplace? This has been my presentation, and thank you.
Muito obrigado, Nathan. Agora as nossas juradas irão fazer a sua avaliação e logo em seguida nós retornamos com o resultado.
Summer's here, so let's be clear. Come take my hand, no need to fear. Let's wander through this city we call home. We'll walk along a lane, stroll through a park, grab a milkshake, hear a landmark. And when we end the day, we'll go again. Again, 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 again. I feel your gaze of beauty brings a smile to my face. I know it's not my duty, but I can't wait to be sitting with you, sitting with you, and holding your hand, holding your hand, holding you together, holding your hand. But we're away. I can't
E nós já temos a nota obtida pelo Nathan, representante do Senac Tech. Na primeira fase da modalidade Public Speaking Competition, ele obteve 16 pontos. Parabéns, Nathan! Chama agora o representante do Senac São Leopoldo, Enzo Moreira da Silveira, para fazer sua apresentação.
Bom dia.
Bom dia, tudo bem? Como está,
Bom
Enzo?
dia. Um pouco nervoso, mas vamos fazer.
Animado?
Sim, com certeza.
Então vamos lá, Enzo. The stage is yours. Boa apresentação para você. Como? Audiodescrição,
Boa.
perdão. Vamos fazer a audiodescrição do Enzo. Enzo é um jovem de pele clara, cabelos curtos e castanhos, usa óculos de armação escura e está vestindo a camiseta do Super B. Então, agora nós podemos fazer a sua apresentação, Enzo. Boa sorte, the stage is yours.
Okay. Perfect. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Enzo Moreira da Silveira, and today I will talk about the question that's become more relevant every year. What role does intergenerational dialogue play in building better workplace? So, to answer that question, firstly, I would like to start a situation that may sound simple, but happens every day around companies in the world. Imagine a young intern and experienced manager facing the same challenge. They are work together towards the same object, dealing with the same issue, but yet they not necessarily see the same solution. In most cases, the young intern see a new tool, a new platform, a new path. Meanwhile, the manager focus on their previous risks or lessons learned over many years. And that is a routine situation. Since today, we can easily find 4 or even 5 generations working side by side. In fact, a research published by APA, or American Psychology Association, shows that today almost 41% of professionals work to a boss that is younger than them. And naturally, they bring different perspectives, but those differences are not the real problem. The real issue begins when we stop understanding this difference and start judging. So, according to Dr. Megan Geehart, a psychologist and leading research on this topic, human beings share the exact workplace needs. All of us want to be listened, all of us want to be respected and autonomy. But the clash happens because we have different learned norms. So each generation understand the best way to approach to workplace differently. And when we ignore this issue, in collaboration dies because we create labels, and labels are not created to be listened. And due to lack of dialogue, these assumptions grow quickly because people becomes more focused on defending their own perspectives than try to understand someone else's. As a result, any conversation turns on empty words, and we trust each other becomes much harder. And a proof of that is that Harvard Business Review shows when companies fail to bridge this gap, they suffer with higher turnover between employees and low team performance. And that's exactly why dialogue matters, because dialogue creates understanding. And a true dialogue is not just a polite conversation. Indeed, it's what Dr. Geard calls intelligence or generational intelligence. When people talk openly, they begin to understand not only what the others think, but they understanding why they think that way. So instead of judging, we need to do power questions, a concept that she created. For example, could you help me understanding how you reach that conclusion? And in an environment like this, any experience becomes so much easier to share, ideas easier to consider, and that's what builds a better workplace. Not a workplace where everyone thinks of the same way, but a workplace where different strengths move to the same direction. So a proof of that is that again, Harvard Business Review study published shows that companies that actively foster intergenerational community see a massive boost in innovation and satisfaction because the experience helps these companies to avoid mistakes that have already been made, such as fresh help them to adapt the new world. And that is exactly what intergenerational dialogue do. They build a bridge that move knowledge to both directions. So, to conclude, when we ask what role does intergenerational dialogue plays in building a better workplace, the answer is simple. It helps people avoid assumptions. The young intern and the experienced manager from the beginning of these presentations maybe never agree, but what really matters is that they listen and can work together. Because a better workplace is not built by one generation alone. It's built by generation.
E já temos a nota obtida pelo Enzo. Nessa primeira fase, o representante do Senac São Leopoldo atingiu 16 pontos. Parabéns, Enzo! Agora, para darmos sequência, chamo o aluno Pedro Henrique Becker Moreira, representante do Senac Farroupilha, para fazer a sua apresentação. Farei a audiodescrição do Pedro. Ele é um jovem de pele clara, cabelos claros e curtos e olhos azuis. Está vestindo um casaco preto. Pedro, como é que está se sentindo?
Tô um pouco ansioso, mas pronto para apresentar.
Como é que foi o apoio até esse momento?
O apoio foi incrível sempre. Material, pesquisas, foi uma ótima experiência.
Ai, que bom. Fico feliz. Está muito preparado para a sua apresentação. The stage is yours. Você pode começar a sua apresentação, Pedro.
Ok.
Boa sorte.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Pedro. I am 16 years old, and currently I am a financial analyst. And today I'm not here to talk about money or economics or finance. I'm here to talk about something that happens in almost every single workplace that we know, but we rarely stop to think about it. So, what is it? What are you going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the role that intergenerational dialogue plays in building a better workplace. And actually, I have an example of this myself, but I'll leave it to later. As we all know, the four different generations are working together side by side. And that's exactly when my example begins. About a year ago, when I started working, I was flooded with new information and surrounded by people whose age diverged to 20 from 40 years old. And I started to ask myself, how am I, a 16-year-old boy, would survive that environment? But then I had a very good idea, and I started talking to my coworkers. And when I started talking to them, the real problems began. Corporate words, slangs, personal stories that I just couldn't associate. But then, as time passed, I started to understand more of what they were saying. And not just understanding, I actually start applying it. But that isn't just my personal example. According to Robert Half, $56 billion is lost every year due to lack of communication, intergenerational discussion, and problems with AI. And that isn't just some random data. It's money. It's actually money that we lost every year. In the same research, Robert talks about the time wasted every week due to the same problems. And do you know how much time is it? 5.3 hours a week. Yes, that's a lot. Those are some big numbers. $56 billion and 5.3 hours a week. It's almost an entire evening of lost hours. So I started questioning myself. How could I solve a $56 billion problem? And I came up with a pretty simple solution. And it's actually just one word. And it's dialogue. But Pedro, what does dialogue do in this type of conflict? I came up with 3 easy steps that you can follow to improve your workplace. The first one, translate. When you translate, you just don't grab one language and translate to other, like Portuguese to English. You actually go after to understand what the other person is trying to talk about. I will continue on my example. The first day of work, I had a colleague talking about ROI and ROI this, ROI that, and I got so lost and so confused. And then I started my research and I got the knowledge that ROI is return on investment. After that, I could actually talk to him about that and about other things too. We started multiplying. So, what is multiplying, Pedro? Multiplying is when you grab the knowledge that you acquire through translation and you expand it. You expand your vocabulary, you expand your knowledge, you expand everything that you grab from the other person. And when you start doing that and you starting focusing more on others and stop focusing yourself, you start to build the third and last step of my methodology. That's humanizing. Humanizing is when you feel part of something, when you feel belonging. And that beats burnouts, beats stress, beats work problems, beats the intergenerational problem. And you actually start to have more energy. You start to have more focus. And you start to having a real workspace. And I, in the end of this example, started really talking with all my colleagues about all types of things, sometimes about work, sometimes everything besides work. And that's what made my workplace better. So that's what I want to leave you with. Talk, listen, and build. Because the question isn't whether these generations will work together. They already do. The real question is, are you willing to take away your selfishness and start a conversation? Thank you all for your time.
Muito obrigado pela apresentação, Pedro. Nossas juradas irão avaliar a apresentação do Senac Farroupilha e logo divulgaremos o resultado. Apenas um ajuste em relação às notas atribuídas aos 3 primeiros participantes até agora, pois houve uma somatória equivocada. Milena, representante do Senac Alegrete, obteve 22 pontos. Natan, do Senac Tech, alcançou 19 pontos e o Enzo, de São Leopoldo, 19 pontos. Novamente, apenas um ajuste em relação às notas atribuídas aos 3 primeiros participantes até agora, em virtude de uma somatória equivocada. Milena, representante do Senac Alegrete, obteve 22 pontos. Natan, do Senac Tech, alcançou 19 pontos e Enzo, de São Leopoldo, 19 pontos. E já temos a nota obtida pelo Pedro, representante do Senac Farroupilha. Na primeira fase da modalidade Public Speaking Competition, ele obteve 24 pontos. Parabéns, Pedro! Para finalizarmos, então, essa primeira fase do Public Speaking, vamos agora para a próxima apresentação, que é a da aluna do Senac Lindóia, Verônica Zimmer Nunes. Farei agora a audiodescrição da Verônica. É uma menina de pele branca, cabelos lisos e longos e olhos castanhos. Está vestindo uma camisa branca por baixo de uma camisa preta. Verônica, como está se sentindo?
Ai, gente, eu estou bem, estou um pouco ansiosa, mas estou bem.
Como é que foi a preparação até agora?
Tá tranquilo, tudo muito legal, simpático.
Então tá bom, Verônica. Você com certeza está preparada. The stage is yours. Uma ótima apresentação para você. Pode iniciar.
Hi, good morning. So, the contemporary workforce is more diverse in terms of age groups than at any period in history. 5 generations are currently working together. So how we deal with this? Before we tackle the question, it is important to note that we face a multi-generation workforce because advances in healthcare and nutrition are helping more people to live longer and have healthier lives, keeping them in representative condition to continue working well past the age of retirement. Because we have so many diverse people from different ages and beliefs, we tend to struggle with the generational gap we face. After all, how we deal with the frozen in the past and authoritarian traditional generation. With the individualistic and senile Gen X, the obsessed with face-to-face meeting baby boomers, with the constant praise and feedback the millennials ask for, and how we deal with the fragile, uncommitted, and lazy Gen Z. Soon, the screen-addicted Gen Alpha will be at the same chaotic workplace. How we deal with them? We already know that communication at work is a paramount for information transmission and communication within an organization. To guarantee that, all generations must speak to each other. But the problem is that this all put in a risky situation once a baby boomer sends a thumbs up emoji. Gen X will find it cool, but Gen Z and millennials will see it as a passive-aggressive move. With no communication, no work is done, and these gaps in communication are a threat to teamwork. But we could stop these misunderstandings as a generational problem, because generational gap is a lie. Labeling groups of people by generations oversimplifies human behavior because it ignores global diversity and oversimplifies the human behavior we have. How absurd it is to assume that a 1-year-old and a 20-year-old share the same exact values, want the same exact things at work, or fit to the same exact stereotype just because they belong to the same generation. Real people constantly defy these stereotypes. There are 8 years old who play games with their cell phones, and there are 20-year-olds who crochet blankets. These groups do contrary things of the society expects from them. These behaviors are not from their generation. So we can stop seeing people are just a generation, because that we could stop seeing people as generations in the work, And so how we deal with the dialogue, because sometimes it's difficult. Well, we should approach people with humility. Humility it allows people to share their histories, allows you and other people to tell their histories, their experiences, and allows you to understand the other people's histories. By humility, you can understand how the people tell their histories, but that doesn't mean you have to throw away your point of view. You have to ignore and automatically agree with everything the other person sees. But it creates a generous space to everybody tell their history from their point of view and help you to bridge the communication gap we face. The communication gap. And by this and humility, by this strategy, we provide a work where everyone has the opportunity to do meaningful work and be respected by others. And the work efficiency can be improved by that. We can be improved, and then we can face this problem. Thank you.
Agradecemos a Verônica pela sua participação e as nossas juradas irão fazer a avaliação e logo divulgaremos a nota. Já temos aqui a nota obtida pela Verônica. Nessa primeira fase, a representante do Senac Lindóia atingiu 17 pontos. Parabéns, Verônica! Daremos início agora à segunda fase da Public Speaking Competition, o Impromptu Speech. Nessa segunda fase, os participantes responderão uma pergunta formulada pela banca avaliadora sobre o mesmo tópico. A pergunta é a mesma para todos os participantes. Atenção para a dinâmica do Impromptu Speech. Todos os participantes terão um tempo de 15 minutos para prepararem a sua apresentação. Durante este tempo, os participantes poderão utilizar somente uma folha de papel e uma caneta para preparar a sua apresentação. Não é permitido o uso de nenhum aparelho eletrônico. Os participantes não poderão utilizar apresentações digitais nessa fase. A partir do momento em que os participantes recebem a pergunta, eles não devem conversar com outras pessoas. Durante essa preparação, os competidores devem seguir conectados com a equipe organizadora, com câmera e microfone abertos. No momento da apresentação, poderão utilizar apenas uma folha com o máximo de 5 palavras anotadas. A ordem das apresentações será a mesma ordem da primeira fase. A apresentação deverá ser feita em no mínimo 1 minuto e no máximo 2 minutos na língua inglesa. Os participantes serão desclassificados se a apresentação tiver menos de 1 minuto ou se exceder 2 minutos e 30 segundos de duração. Os participantes serão avisados através de um aviso sonoro quando faltarem 15 segundos para o fim de sua apresentação e, novamente, quando o tempo for esgotado. A banca avaliadora divulgará a nota do participante após cada apresentação. A pergunta é a seguinte, em inglês. Do you think your generation has something important to teach older generations? Why? Em português, você acredita que sua geração tem algo importante para ensinar às gerações mais velhas? Por quê? Começaremos agora, então, o tempo de 15 minutos de preparação.
Take you outside in the sunlight. I'll make it alright, so we dance all night. Wake up in the morning, rebel. Again, 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 again.
Seguimos então para a fase Impromptu Speech, com a seguinte pergunta em inglês: Do you think your generation has something important to teach older generations? Why? Em português, você acredita que sua geração tem algo importante para ensinar às gerações mais velhas? Por quê? Então, convido para iniciar esta fase da modalidade do Public Speaking a participante Milena Viana Costela, representante do Senac Alegrete. Milena, boa sorte nessa segunda parte. The stage is yours. Pode ir.
Okay, here I chose 5 words, and I think each generation has their qualities and values, and every generation has something to learn and has something to teach. And the qualities and values of my generation, I think one of them is about technology, because we are a generation which is very immersed in technology, and we have more facility, and we can give tips and help with lessons, the older ones, and this is something very good. And another word I choose is diversity, because I think younger people are usually more open to different ideas, and also is there to broke stereotypes and prejudices. Like there is this thing that some people think younger people are lazy, and some people also think the older ones are too conservative. And I think the younger generation is here to break these stereotypes and to help to create an environment with more respect and with more inclusion. And thank you. That's my presentation.
Obrigado, Milena. Nossas juradas estão avaliando sua apresentação e em breve viremos com a nota. Já temos a pontuação da representante do Senac Alegrete. A nota final obtida pela Milena na modalidade Public Speaking Competition foi 41 pontos. Parabéns, Milena! Para darmos sequência, peço que o aluno Nathan Micael dos Santos Espíndola, representante do Senac Tech, se conecte conosco. Então,
Alô?
Nathan, preparado? Então, Nathan, você tem agora 2 minutos para a sua apresentação. Boa sorte. The stage is yours.
All right. So, like I've said before in my presentation, I do believe that the older generation has a lot to learn from us, from my generation. Since new technology is emerging every single passing day, it gets harder to get accustomed to. And with the help of the younger generation, it makes it easier for the older generation to learn how to use these new tools at their favor. For example, like I've said before in my presentation again, Photoshop, most Adobe products, and Canva. In each passing day, technology gets harder to mess with. It is vital that the younger generation helps the older generation to realize and use these tools at their favor. It is also vital that this lesson gets passed through the years so that future generations can learn how to use tools more properly. Thank you.
Obrigado pela apresentação, Nathan. Nossas juradas irão deliberar sobre a sua nota e logo divulgaremos o resultado. E nós já temos a nota obtida pelo Nathan. Sua nota final na modalidade Public Speaking Competition foi 35 pontos. Parabéns, Nathan! Chamo agora, então, para darmos sequência, para fazer a sua apresentação, o representante do Senac São Leopoldo, Enzo Moreira da Silveira. Enzo, está preparado?
Sim, com certeza.
Claro, então vamos lá. The stage is yours. Boa sorte na sua apresentação, Enzo.
So, I do believe every single generation has or had something to share and teach to older generations in their own time. Because even we born under different circumstances, different decades, we all share some things in common. We share dreams, fears that older generations already had, and we are share the same needs to do and to be. We want to listen and we want to listen and be listened. We want share, we want respected and be respected. So what I think we most have to teach and learn with intergenerational dialogues is how to approach. Because we born my generation in a fast modern world. So we born with technology in our hands, and we always want the early answer, fast as possible. And we want to share that. We want to communicate, show ourselves. And I believe that can open and bridge this gap that exists because my generation, I think, see the older generations as closed, as distance. So I believe with our communicates, open this path, we can build a plural workplace. Thank you.
Muito obrigado, Enzo. Nossas juradas irão avaliar a sua apresentação e logo retornaremos.
When I've been away, I've been holding on to the thought of you and me. Take you outside in the sunlight. I'll make it alright, so we dance all night. Wake up in the morning and revel some more. Again, 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 again. When we're away, I can't think it tough. But he says, I'll be okay. 'Cause I know that I will be with you in time. When the sun's out, we will ride out into town. Now summer's here, so let's be clear. Come take my hand, no need to fear. Let's wander through this city we call home. We'll walk along a lane, stroll through a park, grab a milkshake, hear a landmark. And when we end the day, we'll go again. Again, again.
Atenção para a nota do Enzo. A pontuação final do representante do Senac São Leopoldo foi de 35 pontos. Parabéns, Enzo! E vamos agora para a próxima apresentação. Chamo agora o aluno Pedro Henrique Becker Moreira, representante do Senac Farroupilha. Pedro, como é que está se sentindo? Preparado?
Me sentindo maravilhoso. Vamos lá, para cima.
Então vamos lá. The stage is yours, Pedro. Boa sorte na sua apresentação. Podes iniciar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pedro. I am 16 years old, and I want to talk about what our generation has to teach to the elder. Well, we all know that Gen Z was born connected to the internet, and that is often seen as a very big problem. We get information so fast, we need stimulation, we need lots of things happen every time, and the older ones, they see it as a big problem. But what if it actually isn't? What if they actually listen to our side? Well, we can bring fast information, we can bring speed, we can bring efficiency, we can bring so much new ideas because we are so connected and so full of information that it could help a lot the older generations. And what I really want to tell you guys is that's not the question that we need to answer. What does Gen Z have to teach the older generations? The real question that I think we should be seeking for is what are we all losing when we throw away one single generation? We need to listen to everyone and be comprehensive. That's it. Thank you.
Obrigado, Pedro. Nossas juradas irão se reunir agora para a avaliação da apresentação do Pedro e em breve teremos a nota. E já temos a pontuação do representante do Senac Farroupilha. Sua pontuação total foi de 45 pontos. Parabéns, Pedro! Vamos para a última apresentação da fase Impromptu Speech, do primeiro dia de semifinais da Public Speaking Competition, que é a da aluna do Senac Lindóia, Verônica Zimmer Nunes. Verônica, está se preparada?
Yes.
Então, Verônica, ótima sorte para você, uma boa apresentação. The stage is yours.
Yes. Actually, I think everyone has something important to teach. Different people have various point of views for different situations and things. Think about your older teacher. You have conversations with him, and both of you can teach and learn from each other. Or think about your grandpa. From his experiences, you can learn things. But they are older. But at the same time, because you are younger, you can have different experiences that he didn't have, and you can teach him too. Both older and younger generations can teach each other. And when we just don't hear, but we listen, we pay attention, we try to understand and practice the humility that allow us to see the other person's point of view, we can learn and teach. So by that, everybody has that opportunity to be able to see the other person's point of views, experiences, understand that things, and teach and learn. Thank you.
Agradecemos a Verônica pela apresentação. Nossas juradas irão fazer a avaliação e logo divulgaremos a nota. Já temos aqui a nota obtida pela Verônica. A pontuação total da representante do Senac Lindóia foi de 35 pontos. Parabéns, Verônica! Ressalto que a divulgação dos finalistas da modalidade Public Speaking ocorrerá no final da transmissão ao vivo do último dia de semifinais, 18 de junho. Assim, finalizamos o primeiro dia de provas da semifinal estadual da modalidade Public Speaking Competition do Super B. Hoje, às 17 horas, teremos o segundo dia da semifinal da modalidade Spelling Competition, pelo YouTube do Senac RS. Esperamos vocês todos lá e desejamos a todos um excelente dia.